beautiful friends. Thank you again so much for joining me on another What I Eat in a Day, being carnivore and also being pregnant. I'm going to show you all the meals that I'm having today, as well as most of the meals of my family. I'm going to probably end up showing you a baby bump update, as I am now, I believe it's 12 weeks and 3 days pregnant, so that'll be fun to show you guys. And then I would also love to just sit down at some point during the day and just talk to you about like tips and things that I've learned since being on the carnivore diet, and just things that I feel like could help you if you wanted to start this way of eating. And just a little warning, it might be a little TMI, but if you just bear with me, I just want to be super honest with you guys and let you know everything that I've learned, and just to really give you a head start so you don't have to go along the bumps and the hiccups and the things that I had to learn. Hopefully you can bypass all of that. So I'm really excited to take you with me today. So on this morning, my husband was running a little bit late to work, and so he just wanted a quick breakfast. So I went ahead and scrambled up 3 eggs for him, made that in a pan, and then melted it with some cheese on top. When the kids woke up, they also wanted eggs, so I just mixed up 2 eggs for them and made more of an omelet style, and then I melted some of that cheddar cheese on top for them as well. And then I just cut it up into little bites for them, so that would be easier for them to eat. And that eggs are a really easy go-to meal in the morning. Usually I like to pair it with sausages or bacon, and my family really enjoys that. And like I said, it's super simple. It really takes no effort, and they love it. Now that the kids were happily munching away on their eggs, it was time for Mom to make breakfast. I went along with everyone else and decided to have eggs this morning, and so I just fried up 2 eggs for myself. I just cooked them in butter, and I just did them over easy. I also added liver to my breakfast. This is the liver that I always talk about that I make. It's super good, and I actually eat it cold. And I just kind of have it as a side like you would having sausage or bacon with your eggs, and it's super delicious, and it's just a great way to start my morning. So after eating their eggs this morning, Zane and Maddie asked if they could have a piece of fruit, and so I split half a banana for them, and they both really enjoyed that. And my kids usually have fruit about 1 to 2 times in the day. So as you guys watch me eat my breakfast in all of my morning glory, I wanted to talk to you about some of the cool things that I've learned about liver. To start off, liver is really high in vitamin A, so if you're dealing with things like acne, it can be very beneficial for that. It's also high in folic acid, iron, and zinc. So to me, it's the perfect prenatal vitamin to take every day. Liver is actually the most nutrient-dense organ meat, so I love being able to include it in my diet as much as I can. I don't know if you noticed earlier when I showed you a picture of my breakfast that I actually cut off most of the egg whites for my eggs. I just really crave the yolk and have little interest in eating the egg whites. Eggs are actually a great source of protein and fat as well, and they have lots of good vitamins and minerals such as selenium, vitamin D, B6, B12, zinc, iron, and copper. So I just really like starting off my day with such superfoods.
Squeeze it. Mama, raise me.
On you mark, get set, go! Oh, speedy. So for lunchtime, I just kept it super simple. I know, shocking. But these are foods that my kids just absolutely love, and they scarf down these plates for lunchtime. We got some beans and some cheese. Maddie loves her cheese.
I want cheese too.
Yeah, yummy. Good lunch. Does someone want his treat? Does Boomer want his treat? Boomer gets the leftover egg whites that I didn't have for my breakfast this morning. All right, sit. Wait. Nope. Sit. Wait. Wait. Sit. Sit. Wait. Okay. Yummy. Look at that happy doggy. Good boy. Get your protein. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah. Oh, are they all gone? They're just so delicious. You ate them so fast. It is currently 11:45 as I'm making my lunch. And I ate around 7:30 this morning for breakfast, as you could have seen what I ate then. So these mac pork rinds are some of my favorite pork rinds to eat. I just usually get them from Walmart, and I went ahead and finished off this bag before I cooked my lunch. I had the pork rinds, and I did have one slice of cheese, just like the kids are having. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cook this up, and it should be delicious. Lots of salt and pepper, just the way I like it. I'm going to go ahead and broil this in the oven for about 6 minutes, and it should be great. And there it is, all done and ready to eat. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. I cannot wait to sink my teeth into this. So the kind of steak that I'm having today is a T-bone. I tried to cook it medium, but I think it got a little bit more done than that, but it was still super good and really juicy and delicious. And as you can see here, my kids always get little bites of my food too, even though they finish their plate. So I'm just showing a picture here of just the caramelized fat with the meat. This is such a tasty bite, and I love just eating the fat with my meat and not cutting it off. So yes, I do eat the meat off the bone, can't lose a single bite of this deliciousness. And you can see Maddie over there in the corner. She was asking for more food too, so I tried to give her a little bit left. She was eating some of mine earlier as well. But there it is. I finished the whole thing, and that was my lunch. Guys, I hope that you're having a great afternoon. I just figured I would come sit down with you guys for a little bit and just talk a little bit more about the carnivore diet. I always say that it's really important to do your own research, and that's really the best way that you're going to know if this diet's going to work for you. I've definitely done my research, and I would just love to share what I've learned. This process of eating carnivore for about a year now, and that way you have what I've learned in one place, and it's a place for you to start. So from what I've heard from other people, and from finding this out true for myself, eating this way, the best way to do the carnivore diet is to eat when you are hungry and stop when you are full. At first it may take like a lot of food. You may feel like you're consuming half your refrigerator of meat. It may take just a lot of food for you to feel full, for you to feel satiated. But I promise over time that insatiable hunger will back off after a while. And so just listen to your body, be intuitive to it. When I first started the carnivore diet, it was not odd for me to eat 4 to 5 pounds of meat per day, which some people will be like, how on earth did you stomach all that? Well, I've always had a huge appetite, and I just was hungry. I just, eating just meat too. You're not having any fillers, you're not having any carbs throughout the day or vegetables. You just feel like you can eat a lot of it. At least I could. And now that I've been doing carnivore for almost a year, I find that I'm eating about 1.5 to 2 pounds of meat per day. And then I also will have like cheese on the side, or just maybe like a couple eggs on the side as well. I literally felt like I had to eat that way until my body felt like it was getting the nutrients that it was so desiring and so craving. Probably about after around like 6 months, it was like my body gave a sigh of relief. It was like, I feel safe now. I feel like, I know that I'm going to get nutritious food coming consistently. And so it was almost like at that point, I didn't feel like I had to eat as much, and my body was more satisfied with a smaller amount of meat. The longer that you're eating this way as well, you may find that you have less bowel movements. I personally only defecate like 1 to 2 times a week, which may sound crazy to some people because, you feel like if you don't poop every single day that something's wrong, that you're constipated, but that's just not the case eating carnivore. I feel great. I feel like my stool passes very easily, and it's not something that I ever really have to think about, so it's great. Why is that? Why do you find that you have less bowel movements on carnivore? Well, for starters, meat is way more bioavailable than plants. So what does bioavailable mean? Well, simply put, our bodies can better absorb the nutrients from meat and can utilize it in our body easier than it can do it with plants. You have less stool because your body is absorbing the nutrients from the food that you're eating, and therefore there's less waste for it to get rid of. I'm sure anyone that's eaten plants has experienced maybe some bloating, some gas, maybe some constipation, but you just don't feel these digestive issues when you're just eating from the animal kingdom. If for some reason you do feel constipated while eating carnivore, the first things that I would suggest that you do is cut out the eggs, cut out the dairy, and see if that makes you feel better. I also would say try upping the fat, because that can kind of help things get going and moving along for you. On a personal note, something that I found really cool when I started doing carnivore, I was nursing my daughter. She was, I think, about 7 months old at the time, and I was exclusively breastfeeding her, and I noticed a change in her stool as well. As you know, babies can have super big blowouts, but once I started eating carnivore, I noticed that she really wasn't having blowouts anymore. And up until that time, it was pretty consistent that she was having a lot of poop in her diaper and occasional blowouts. And so noticing that she wasn't pooping as often, but that when she did have to poop, that it wasn't she wasn't straining to go. She was, it seemed to pass easily for her, and there was a lot smaller amount. And so doing my research on it, I thought it was super cool because I knew that she was absorbing all the nutrients from the milk that I was giving her because I was eating such a nutrient-dense diet. So what if you add veggies to your carnivore diet? Will you not reap the benefits of the carnivore diet? Well, to be honest, it really depends. People try this diet for a plethora of reasons. I mean, they can try it to help heal illnesses and diseases such as diabetes, autoimmune issues, depression, mental illnesses, things of all that sort. And so there's also people that try it for better body composition, which in my case, that's why I wanted to try the carnivore diet, as well as with improved moods, improved clarity, and improved energy levels. I know that we've been told all of our lives that veggies are good for us. They're the most healthiest things that we could be eating. But in all honesty, there is a lot of research coming out nowadays that shows that maybe plants aren't as beneficial as we once thought them to be. You can do your research, but there's so many articles on phytates and lectins and oxalates and how they really do no favors for our body. As I always like to remind and even preach, our bodies are all bio-individual. That means that we will respond differently to different things and the different foods that we eat. So what may work for someone else may not work for you. And that's where you have to take responsibility, and you have to understand that what makes you feel good is what you have to stick to. You know, maybe Sally or Joe over there is able to eat all these other things that you just don't feel really good eating. And so, you know, if you want to have the best success, you need to listen to your own body and respect what it's telling you. I mean, your body wants to feel good, so just listen to it, be intuitive to it, and I really do think that people will find the best success in doing that. Carnivore diet is a great diet to try. It's the perfect elimination diet. People can find out what's triggering them, what's making them not feel great, because usually people aren't allergic to meat. So if you strip your diet and you strip your food all the way down to just meat, you can slowly over time start adding back things in and seeing how you feel, seeing how you respond to it, and knowing if it's really serving your body in the best way. For someone first starting out on this carnivore journey, on this carnivore way of eating, I would honestly recommend that you would try just meat. No eggs, no dairy, nothing like that, no other, foods from the animal kingdom besides meat. And just eat meat for 30 days and see how you feel. After a month, if you're feeling good, try introducing back in the eggs, try introducing back in the dairy, and see how you feel. Do that maybe 3 to 4 times during your week as you're introducing in these new foods, and just really listen to your body. Is it making your stomach feel good? Is it affecting your mental clarity? Is it affecting your energy levels? Are you breaking out in acne? Are you having inflammation? Are you having skin issues? Just really observe your body, experiment on yourself. Find out what's working for you and what's not. That way, if you want to try the veggies, you can slowly incorporate them back in after the 30 days of just eating meat. You will know how good you feel after eating meat. And so that will really set the bar for you when you're trying to add things back into your diet. If you're adding things in that make you feel less than optimal, then I would suggest, getting rid of those things out of your diet. And for the things that make you feel great, just keep on eating those things, because that's what's really fueling your body and that's what's really making it thrive. Now, I really do think that it's important to point out that it makes no sense to be dogmatic about this way of eating, because like I said, everyone's going to have a different set point. I do think that everyone's going to feel great eating meat, but as far as, adding in different things or trying different things, or, having maybe some plant foods, or having, fermented vegetables like sauerkraut or kefir. Some people may do really well with that, and I don't think anyone should look down on someone that's trying to eat this way and to eat a carnivore diet that's still implementing those things if they're feeling good. That's really all that should matter, is if you feel like you are thriving, you are feeling your best. That's all that should matter. I personally feel best eating just meat and animal products. Like I said, anytime I add in the nuts, yes, they taste good in the moment, but they do not make me feel good. And so those are things that I try to have on very rare occasions, just for more pleasure than anything. But it's something I definitely can do without, and it's definitely something that I feel I would feel better not having in my diet. And so I'm striving towards that way of eating, of just, completely cutting out all the plant foods, because I know that I feel the best when I do that. And that's really how I want to live my life, is feeling my best and not regretting, like, oh gosh, like, why did I eat those couple of handful of nuts last night? Now I feel really bloated and I just feel super, uncomfortable in my stomach. So it's just not worth it for me, and it's just something that I've moved more towards away the longer I've done this diet. The first 4 months that I was eating carnivore, all I craved were nuts all the time. And I was like, why is this craving so strong? And so I would just eat more meat or eat cheese or just anything to really distract me from that. Well, then at 6 months was the first time I gave in and let myself have some nuts. And I was like, why did I want these things? They do not make me feel good. And I justified it by saying, hey, it's not like I ate a donut, and it's not like I caved and ate a piece of pizza. Nuts, they're healthy for you. They're keto, and, they're not the worst thing in the world, but they definitely didn't make me feel the greatest. And so for that case, I think it's something I need to do away with. This sweetheart woke up, so I'm just going to end off here with 7 tips that could really help you when you're starting the carnivore diet. You want to go sit down? So the first thing that I want to mention is make sure that you're getting enough fat. Fat is what's going to make you feel satiated. And like I mentioned before, you're going to have to find that place where your body feels best with the amount of fat that you're eating. So play around with your fat and your protein ratios. You can try adding more fat to your meals if you're finding that you're not getting enough through your diet. So, you know, try cooking your meat in lard or butter or ghee, and that can really help up your fat content. Make sure to drink plenty of water. I know I don't show it a lot during my day of eatings, but throughout the day I'm constantly sipping on my water. And I say sipping and not gulping because I really do think that you need to listen to your body, to its hunger cues just as much as its thirst cues. And so you see a lot of people saying, oh, you need a gallon of water per day and you need to, you know, chug it down and get it down throughout the day. And nobody wants to do that. I mean, that doesn't sound appealing to anyone. You want one more?
Yeah.
So the best thing that I would recommend is putting a little pink Himalayan salt in your water. That way you're keeping up your electrolytes and you're staying hydrated, and it's very satisfying. So yeah, just make sure that you're drinking plenty of water throughout the day and just listening to your thirst cues. Meal plan if needed. Having structure and removing the guesswork can really help you stay on track. When you know what you're supposed to be eating and how much you can eat of it, and just you're planning throughout the week and making sure that you have enough food for yourself, it's really going to help you meet your goals and you'll find success. I feel the best way doing that. Keep it simple. Stick to whole foods from the animal kingdom. That's why I suggest eating just 30 days of just meat, because that way you don't have to think about anything. You don't have to plan really that much of anything. You don't have to spend too much time in the kitchen cooking. You literally just cook your meat and you eat it. It's very simple. It's very straightforward. And the less that you have intricate recipes or all these rules, the more that you're likely to stick to something. Tip number 5, educate yourself. And I know I've said this before in this video, but the more that you know, the more that you have your reasons of why that you're doing it. It's inevitable. You're going to have bad days, and you're going to have to know why you're doing this and to have your reason why and hang on to that. So it's really important to know the science, to know, you know, why this works and why this should work for you. Educating yourself will also help you be aware and to know of symptoms that may arise and the best respective ways to handle those situations and how to make yourself feel better. Number 6, stay committed. Find your reason why and never let go of it. Be consistent and give yourself grace. You know, this isn't an easy thing to do. And a lot of times you may feel very deprived or restricted when you're hanging out with friends, when you're going to parties, because everyone's eating all the supposedly good food and there may not be a lot for you to find to eat. But just really hold on to your reason why. Hold on to bettering yourself and bettering your health, and just really trust the process. You are fighting for a better future you, and so stay the course because your future self will thank you. Lastly, tip number 7, find your tribe. Find people that are going to support you in this goal of yours and in this way of eating. A lot of times eating carnivore, it's very odd for family members to get used to and for friends to get used to, and a lot of people may have questions that you may not always know how to answer. But just literally surround yourself with people that are like-minded, that are having the same goals of you, of eating a carnivore lifestyle. And the more that you surround yourself with that kind of environment, the stronger you will be in your resolve to stay to the course and to make it through the hard times. There's a lot of resources that you can find today online. There's Facebook groups of people eating this way, and that's really what my channel is all about, that you're not the only ones out there, that there are many other people that eat this way and that are striving for these health goals and, you know, just feeling better overall with their bodies and their health. And so I'm always here supporting you guys. I'm always here cheering you on, and I just want you to know that. Oh, smile. Oh, there it is. This is usually the sparkling water that I'll have. I get it from Aldi's, and it's like 55 cents for this 1 liter. I really like the lemon lime flavor and the grapefruit, so I'm going to go ahead and drink this. Oh, Maddie, what are you doing? What are you doing? Maddie wanted an afternoon snack, so she's finishing off the beans that we had from lunch. And she wanted to read the paper while she did that.
Stop.
You done?
No.
No. Zane just woke up from his nap and he's going to have a couple of smoked almonds and we're going to go play outside. So that's going to be his afternoon snack. We're having steak. Same thing I had for lunch today. Yeah, that's what I had for lunch. And then the kids are going to have peas. I'm going to have some eggs with liver, and then I might cook up some of those brownies. Mommy. Final product. Is that good steak, Maddie?
Me too.
You too. I always ask Maddie first how she likes her food. You're all the way over here. Is that good? Yeah, steak is one of their favorite meats to eat. It's definitely an exciting dinner when you get steak. Right, Zane? Yeah. And then that's Daddy's. He already started on his, but he had to go take a call. And then here's mine. I'm just going to eat the meat off the bone here of the kid's steak.
So Mommy's?
Yep, and Mommy's got a little bit of liver, some eggs, and then while we're eating, I'm just going to go ahead and pop these in because I might want to snack later. And so I'm going to broil these in the oven, and we'll have that for later on if I get hungry. So that will probably be the extent of what I'm eating tonight. And the kids might have a little slice of banana bread as well as Gabriel after dinner. We'll see if they're still hungry. I did give them a lot of meat, so I'm trying to fill them up on that protein. But if they want a treat after dinner, I do have that banana bread. So yeah, just had one of these brats. There was 5 in the package. My husband had one too after his steak. And we have 3 left over. He'll probably take a couple to work tomorrow, and then I'll probably feed the extra one to the kids for a meal tomorrow. So I want to go ahead and give a quick bump update. I'm currently 12 weeks and 3 days along in my pregnancy. Like I said, I am definitely popping out sooner than I ever did with my other 2. Hope you guys enjoyed this day of eating. I had a fun time taking you along with me. And if you like this content, please like and subscribe so that you can continue to see more of my videos. I hope that you all have a really blessed night, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys. Banana bread snack?
No.
Can Mom have a bite? Oh, that's so sweet. I thought you were going to give me one. Yeah, good job.
I got mine.
You got banana bread? You got your slice? Oh, thank you.